Okay, let's go now with Ipo. Says Ipo Makonushin. Says, hello, Ave. Thank you for offering portfolio reviews. My name is Aman, and I'm a 3D character artist from India, focusing on game-ready character for games. My current goal is to reach a studio hireable level, and I identify the key gaps in portfolio before applying for junior entry-level character artist. I would really appreciate feedback on quality and consistency, anatomy, sculpting, and realism, game readiness. What should I prioritize? Personal question out of curiosity. From your industry experience, what specially differentiates a junior, mid, and senior character artist? Is it mainly years of experience or more skill depth, decision-making, and production responsibility? That's a great question. So yeah, usually a junior artist is someone who knows the tools. You need someone to help you with assets or this or that, whatever part of the production. He knows the tools, but he is going to get stuck very often. He's not going to know how to approach certain things, and you need to help him, especially as a lead or as part of the production like team or whatever. You need to help him like troubleshoot those things. So he's not very good at decision making, as you mentioned right there. He has usually a good skill depth, but he's going to be struggling with the decision making side of things. When you jump into the mid position, that's when you usually are quite comfortable and quite good with the general like process of whatever studio you're working on. You don't need as much help, but what's gonna be lacking right there is the artistic side of things. Like you're missing that artistic eye to know what decisions are best for the project, right? Like there's things like composition, storytelling, right? This very like soft skills of the whole thing. You will be developing those, and you will understand, oh, this works more than this other option. Like option A works better than option B because option A has a more interesting silhouette, or it has a more interesting design. And why is that? Why is that design more interesting? Well, you will start to understand that once you get into the mid level. And then on the senior level, the interesting thing about senior artists is that not everywhere, but in a lot of places, they will be doing a lot of like managing like activities. So you might not be doing as much stuff like on your computer and stuff. You will be helping juniors and mid-level artists with their own stuff as well. So you will be like, they will be doing the base mesh and the basic like forms and primary forms, secondary forms, and then you're gonna take it from there and just do like the high polish pass, right? That's not everywhere, but that's a very common thing that happens with senior like staff. They're gonna be helping a lot. They're gonna be going into this more like managers or like a position. Again, not always. That's for that question. That's specifically roughly how it works. Let's take a look at your stuff. Okay. I feel like this kind of stuff clutters the thumbnail a little bit. Like including all of the softwares on the thumbnail is not really necessary. I personally don't do it, and I would recommend not to do it. Name is fine. Name can be interesting. Just be careful with the typography and the kind of like colors and things that you use, because it can be very, very difficult to miss. This is not a great character. Again, from a design perspective, from a modeling perspective, from textures and sculpting, this is not a great character. It seems like you were exploring the full pipeline, which is fine. Triangle countess is fine. Your UVs look good, but in general, unfortunately, this character is not, it doesn't look that good. The face, the anatomy face right there, really not helping. The breast area, like way out of proportion. Like that's not how it works. The shapes of the female body tend to be a little bit different. Again, proportions not really where they need to be. I'll probably take this one out. Again, I understand that this might have been your first character, but it's important that even your first characters are like the first characters that you're going to be showing, of course, are like quite up there in terms of quality. Okay. We have this throne, which again, I'm not super excited about. And the reason why I'm not excited about is because it feels very disjointed, right? Like it just feels like you did a lot of different assets and throw them together into making into making it look interesting, right? So what do I see here? Well, that's the Alliance logo, first of all, so you're gonna get a copyright strike there. I'm just kidding, but the general construction of the things is not there either. Like the stones, they look like clay, right? Like very simple bevels right there. I have a video on YouTube if you want to check like how to sculpt stones, and you can use a little bit more of that. Again, it makes no sense. Like, where are we? If this is a palace, why are there no windows? Why are there no tables? Why are there not a lot of things? So this is a very common mistake where people try to do something that's very ambitious, has a lot of different pieces, and it would be way more beneficial to you if you just focused on one. The piece or the element that I find the most interesting from this whole thing, it's this lions. And again, the anatomy of this lions is just like not there, right? Like it looks, they look like very old PlayStation 2 era like models. So I would recommend just take this one out. If you like the lion, go back to ZBrush, give it another pass, like really sculpt a freaking cool looking lion statue, and then use that as a portfolio piece. Here I can see a little bit of improvement on the texturing side of things. It's looking definitely better. Anatomy still needs work. It's getting there. It's getting there. Like I see that you understand where the main muscles are, the main forms of the body. But again, like I don't see this in the game. This seems to be like Maya inspired. I don't see like there's things missing again in terms of anatomy, form, gesture, especially gesture. He looks very, very stiff, and that's something that we talked quite a bit on the anatomy course. We want to make sure that the characters don't look that stiff. Troy count 94k. Yeah, you know the basics of topology, or not the basics, that like you have a good understanding of the topology process. It's the polish, I would say, like this stage right here. This is a very common thing that I see on a lot of student work, where we focus too much on doing the full pipeline without like fully mastering each part of the process. This is the time where you should focus a little bit more on this particular area to make sure that he looks as nice as possible before we jump onto the texturing and the retopo and everything else. Yeah, optimization is fine. And then you have this new one right here, correct? Yeah, same stuff. Like rendering is also one that or something that's missing on all of your pieces, man. I've mentioned this before, so if you haven't, please check this course right here. It's free. There's no excuse. It's just 2 hours. It's 2 hours, and you're gonna learn so many things on how to present your work a lot better. Because this right here looks again like a PlayStation 2 like screenshot, right? There's no need for you to spend time and energy on an environment if you're gonna be or want to be a character artist. I would focus way more on the character. This actually looks a little bit better, but it's because of the contrasty like side of things. Face definitely looks a little bit better, but still not there yet. It doesn't look like realistic. And one thing that you should try with these characters is see if you can rig them. Again, using an auto rigger or something, because that's when you're gonna see if things are deforming properly. Yeah, see, something is happening here, Aman, because your sculpts don't look that bad. They look quite nice, actually. Like, I love the detail and something, but you're losing too much stuff. I'm not sure if it's the texturing that's killing you or if it's the retopo or something, but this character looks a lot more interesting here in the high poly sculpt than it does on the final mesh. Yeah, this UVs definitely need some help. Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of wasted space right there. So we need to clean them up a little bit more, organize them a little bit more. But I feel like something is being lost, like in translation, from the sculpt to the final mesh right here, to the final character. Maybe you're going too low poly. I don't know, like the helmet on this character, I don't like the helmet a lot. Kind of looks like it's made out of paper. You guys agree with that? I'm not sure if you see it as well, but it just looks very fake. It just doesn't look nice. So I'm not entirely sure what is happening here. The sword looks fine, for instance. I like the sword. It's the render. The render is killing you, man. Like, look at that table. That's just not... Where are you rendering this? Marmoset. Yeah, there's no reason why Marmoset should look this bad. Like, there's just no reason, right? You definitely need to improve a little bit on the render side of things. Is our station required? No, you can do Behance as well. You can do Behance as well. Yeah, there's... I'm not sure if it's the resolution. There's something, because again, this render right here, or this high poly right here looks nice, but something on your texturing is killing it. How many? Oh no, because you're using 4 maps. There's no reason to be struggling with texture resolution if we're using 4 maps. Best advice I can tell you is just look at the armor, for instance, from Elden Ring. Like, this character looks very similar to the Elden Ring style, and look at what they're doing. Like, if possible, I'm not suggesting that you do this, but it's a it's a good option. If you can rip some of the models, like you can get your hands on some of the models and the armor pieces, look at how they're doing them. How thick are they? How are the UVs organized? Like, try to do a little bit of a dissection of how they're approaching that kind of stuff, because you definitely need to improve there. And practice more anatomy. Definitely practice more anatomy. Not just anatomy for the sake of like doing a character. You need to find or figure out gesture. If you've never done gesture drawing, try doing a couple of exercises of gesture drawing. That's going to definitely help you out, okay?